Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Saoya, and I speak for the team Inception today. I want to ask you something before I start. Do you think you're happy? If you say yes, what makes you feel happy? If you say, oh, I'm unhappy, then what makes you feel that way? Our world is flourishing and prospering, but does this make us happier? USA is in the first place in terms of the size of the economy, but does this make necessarily the US citizens happier than Colombian citizens? What about South Korea and Vietnam? Which citizens feel more content with their lives? And this leads us to think better economy does not guarantee happiness for the people. Happiness is not about how much one gains, but it's about how much one is satisfied. In other words, happiness can be achieved mentally rather than materially. Because we now know that happiness can be achieved and heavily relies on mental, we now suggest reverbalism. The goal of reverbalism is to discover this inner from happiness through thought diversion. What do you think is the most effective tool to change one's thought process? Or let me just ask, how do you express your thoughts? Through facial expressions or body language? It would be language. It's the most direct form to express one's thoughts. So, our daily language. Now, we possibly can think that language and thinking process are closely related. And this is because that we think and learn by language, and we use language to formulate our thoughts, and lastly, we use language in order to express our thoughts. This is the mechanism of reverbalism. Conversion of language affects the change of thinking. And this is supported by some hypotheses. First, Sapir-Whorf, Bandler and Wiener, and lastly, George Lakoff. So these three hypotheses insist that language and thinking process affect each other. So now, please repeat after me. Elephant.
Elephant.
Okay, elephant. Now assume that you have some kind of image in your mind about elephant. Then, now I will ask you to get rid of the image of elephant. At the same time, you say the word elephant. It's not easy because it's the power of language. The word remains in our minds subconsciously, and it keeps affecting our minds undeniably, and it has an enormous impact on our thoughts. To give an extreme example, I will say Nazi. They use this power to convert the Holocaust into ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing, it contains the feeling of positivity, or clean, and also pure. So it allows them to incite their citizens more easily. And now, more countries agree the power of reverbalism, and they are actually using these mechanisms. This is not the end. Positive thought diversion affects healing by reverbalism. It will heal people, and lastly, after all, it will heal the whole society. Here's what we suggest. Like our event 2, power over demand. Reframe your attitude, reframe the responsibility by reverbalism. Mistake 2, creating mistake is not the flaw of your capacity. Reframe and just draw another great achievement by reverbalism. Sexual violence victims 2, sexual violence overcomer. You have to reframe the prejudice and reform the wrong way to see them by reverbalism. Lastly, overweight 2, healthy weight. You don't need to be thinner. Reframe. You just reframe to be healthy weight by reverbalism. So, begin reverbalism. Let's make a movement, because it is of no use if this idea, reverbalism, doesn't need citizens after all. It will just diminish. So, to mix up online and offline channels, we expect to have these virtual circles composed of TEDx, mass media, and social media. These days, we are inclined to social media because it shows the fastest response from the people. However, if you think about the social nature of language, the alternative language, alternative words must have a system with massive impact. So we will start with the trustful ways. So this virtual circle will initiate from TEDx and mass media. These days, people tend to find their ways to improve and higher the level of their satisfaction in their lives. So I believe this positive mechanism will definitely appeal to them, those who want to be healed. Do you want to be happy? Reverbalize. Thank you.